In a gripping movie opening, we are introduced to David Norris, a charismatic political candidate running for the New York Senate in 2006. His campaign soars like a rocket, but a scandal from his past threatens to derail his ambitions. A New York Post article exposes a college reunion prank, tarnishing his image. Election day arrives, and NBC News predicts David's defeat before all votes are counted. Feeling the weight of impending failure, David seeks solace in a restroom, where an unexpected encounter changes his life. Elise Sellis, a mysterious and daring woman, hides from security, sparking an instant connection with David. They share a humorous moment, and sparks fly, but their meeting is cut short by David's campaign manager, Charlie. As the election results hang in the balance, David takes a risky move. He delivers a powerful and authentic speech, revealing his true self to the public. This unscripted moment of honesty wins him the hearts of the people, setting him on a path to victory in the 2010 election. A month later, two enigmatic men, Harry and Richardson, meet to discuss a unique mission. Harry is tasked with spilling coffee on David's shirt at 7:05 a.m., causing him to miss his bus. Fast forward to 2010, and David has achieved success as a senior partner in the firm RSR, founded by Charlie. A twist of fate leads to a chance encounter between David and Elise on a bus, rekindling their connection. Harry's return with a cryptic message about deviating from the planned path sets the stage for an intriguing and unexpected journey. Their reunion is cut short when Harry is struck by a car, revealing that David's life has taken an unforeseen turn. In a bid to preserve their connection, Elise leaves her contact information for David, convinced that destiny has brought them together. The movie promises a thrilling and mysterious journey filled with love, politics, and the unexplainable forces that may be at play in our lives. As David arrives at the RSR offices, he unknowingly steps into a surreal and frozen reality. The employees around him appear to be suspended in time, and an eerie atmosphere envelops the scene. In the conference room, he encounters Richardson, flanked by his enigmatic men. They are using a peculiar device on Charlie, who too is caught in this temporal stasis. The situation takes a terrifying turn as Richardson's men move to apprehend David. He attempts to flee, but wherever he turns, more of Richardson's agents materialize, seemingly out of thin air, mirroring Richardson's supernatural appearance. In an attempt to escape, David barricades himself in Trainor's office and dials 911. However, to his disbelief, the locked door proves futile against the inexplicable powers of Richardson's men, who enter as though the door was never secured. David is overpowered and rendered unconscious. Upon regaining consciousness, David is thrust into a disorienting conversation with Richardson. The enigmatic figure reveals his role in ensuring that everything adheres to the plan, a predetermined course for both events and individuals' lives. David is baffled by these cryptic revelations and remains skeptical. Richardson's psychic abilities become evident as he delves into David's thoughts. It is here that David is introduced to the Adjustment Bureau, TAB, an organization tasked with maintaining the balance of destiny. Richardson stresses the importance of secrecy, warning that David must never reveal the existence of TAB to anyone. He paints a chilling picture of the consequences, a mind wipe, erasing his personality, and a lifetime spent in an institution. To David's dismay, Richardson declares that his unexpected meeting with Elise on the bus was a deviation from the plan. He insists that David must sever all ties with her. Tab goes to great lengths, even burning the card with Elise's contact information, to ensure their paths never cross again. David grapples with the bewildering experience and remains silent, haunted by the threat of memory erasure. Later in a bar, David desperately attempts to recall Elise's phone number from memory. Harry, a member of TAB, joins him and questions why David is fixated on one woman amidst the upheaval in his life. Harry discloses the inner workings of TAB, explaining their inability to read minds, but their proficiency in discerning people's behavioral patterns. Essentially, they are like angels executing the chairman's grand plan. As Harry encourages David to move on, the narrative leaps ahead 3 years. David's hope of reuniting with Elise remains steadfast. He diligently observes his surroundings, awaiting a chance encounter. On a bus, he spots Elise on the sidewalk and implores the driver to halt. Finally, after 3 years of anticipation, they reunite. David confides that he lost her number and lacks her last name for further searching. Meanwhile, Tab is not idle. Richardson is busy managing the consequences of the disruptions caused by David's deviation. Elise's life diverges significantly from the plan, but her forgiveness is conditional on hearing from David within the next 36 hours. The critical observation is that, according to the Adjustment Bureau's rules, a kiss between David and Elise would mark an irreparable deviation from the plan. The intricate dance of fate, love, and human agency unfolds as David and Elise navigate the boundaries set by the enigmatic forces at play. Charlie locates David, revealing that the elaborate sequence of events was orchestrated by Tab. David has a crucial speech to deliver, and Elise insists he cannot skip it, conveniently rehearsing just 3 minutes away from his speech venue, all part of Tab's plan. Just as their passion is about to culminate in a kiss, Richardson intervenes by signaling Charlie, prompting him to urge David to hurry, resulting in a chaste peck on the cheek. Richardson breathes a sigh of relief. David makes a promise to Elise that nothing will come between them, assuring her of their imminent reunion. He prepares to run for a Senate seat while Elise's rehearsal relocates to a different venue. The speech concludes, and David notices Richardson and his men outside the window, triggering his suspicion that something is amiss. Their rendezvous at Pier 17's auditorium is foiled, and David's attempts to contact the ballet company are futile, as Tab has taken preemptive actions. Despite the obstacles, David persistently evades capture. David confronts Richardson, questioning why they are so determined to keep him and Elise apart. Richardson cites the plan as the reason, but David contests its accuracy, even if it was devised by a higher power. He challenges the plan's infallibility and questions his own feelings. In his quest to reach the ballet company, David seeks directions in a coffee shop, but Tab remains in close pursuit. A series of escapades, including a cab collision and a false encounter with a faux cop, attempt to hinder his progress. David's determination eventually leads to him securing a cab, outsmarting Tab, and escaping their clutches. Tab frantically attempts to manipulate traffic lights to thwart David, but the potential ripple effects dissuade them from doing so. David persists, racing toward the ballet company as Richardson desperately tries to prevent him from reaching Elise. When David opens the door to witness Elise's dance, Richardson's attempts prove futile. Despite Richardson's warnings about more powerful forces intervening, David remains unfazed. In a meeting with his superior, Richardson discloses that David and Elise were originally destined to be together, but the plan changed in 2005. Lingering remnants of previous plans continue to draw them towards each other. David and Elise revel in their love by visiting a club, dancing, and indulging in drinks. Their passion culminates in a kiss on the pier, and eventually, an intimate encounter. As David and Elise share this intimate moment, Agent Thompson contemplates how to expedite their separation, unaware of the deep connection they share, rooted in plans that transcend time and space. Elise's morning takes an unexpected turn when her ex-boyfriend repeatedly calls her, leaving her puzzled. David quickly pieces together the situation and playfully asks her about her ex, wondering why she didn't marry him. They engage in a romantic conversation, and David, unwilling to let Elise out of his sight, invites her to join him for an interview. While David is in the midst of his interview, a man enters and delivers a message to Elise, stating that it will be a while and that David will call her when he's finished. To ensure that David doesn't cross paths with Elise, the same man leads him to an empty warehouse, locking all the doors. After some time, Thompson, a member of TAB, appears to greet David. In a candid conversation, David questions the concept of free will. Thompson explains that true free will has been scarce in human history, with fleeting moments during the Roman Empire and a prolonged absence during the Dark Ages. Tab has intervened periodically to fix history and ensure their version of the plan unfolds. Thompson elaborates that David's encounter with Elise in the men's room was orchestrated to inspire a compelling speech, which ultimately makes him the frontrunner for the next election. According to the plan, David is set to win the next 5 elections and eventually become president, but this future hinges on him parting ways with Elise. David is unwilling to accept this predetermined fate and asserts his intention to choose Elise, regardless of the consequences. Thompson reluctantly opens the gates, allowing David to attend Elise's performance. David watches Elise's dance, mesmerized by her talent. Thompson, as he leaves, warns David that his decision will not only jeopardize his own dreams, but also Elise's potential for worldwide fame. He outlines a stark contrast, suggesting that with him, Elise could become a renowned dancer, but together, she might end up teaching young children how to dance. As Thompson departs, he nods his head, and Elise falls, injuring her ankle. David rushes her to the hospital and gets her leg examined. Thompson approaches David, insinuating that it's his fault that Elise sprained her ankle, casting a shadow of guilt over him. In a moment of passion and defiance, David punches Thompson, asserting his free will, just as he did during the bar fight that cost him the previous election. Thompson warns that a mere sprain won't deter them next time, and it will result in the loss of everything Elise cares about. He reiterates that the decision to part ways with Elise is David's to make. David, relieved that Elise's injury is only a sprain, hugs her and promises to make some calls. He leaves the hospital. Richardson informs Harry that the plan has been executed, leaving Elise heartbroken. Harry contemplates whether the plan is always correct, suggesting that the chairman holds the plan, and angels like them only see a portion of it. 11 months later, David enjoys a substantial lead in the polls. However, Charlie breaks the somber news to him that Elise is marrying her ex-boyfriend in a week. David meets Harry at a pier, where Harry reveals that Thompson lied about Elise causing his reckless behavior. He confides in David, expressing empathy for him because his own family was sacrificed for his current position. With Elise's wedding looming, David implores Harry to teach him how to teleport through the doors. He learns to always turn the doorknob clockwise and don a special hat when doing so. They navigate through various doors and installations. Before parting ways, Harry passes his hat to David, wishing him luck, and cautioning that anyone with a similar hat is a threat. On the wedding day, David embarks on a daring mission, utilizing the knowledge Harry imparted. He runs through various locations, making it challenging for Taby to track him due to his hat. At the courthouse, David loses his phone and jacket at the metal detector, but he manages to find Elise before the wedding ceremony. David tries to explain the truth about the angels to Elise, even resorting to physical confrontation. He takes a book to illustrate their love and his desire to spend whatever time they have left together. However, his revelation to Elise alerts Tab, who initiates an intervention team to reset his mind. Desperate to save their love, David and Elise escape through a door in the bathroom, finding themselves in the heart of Tab's main base. Pursued by the intervention team, they ascend an endless flight of stairs. While on the rooftop, they declare their love for each other, share a passionate kiss, and prepare for the intervention. When they open their eyes, the intervention team has vanished. Thompson informs them that their attempt to reach the chairman was futile, but Harry arrives with a message. The plan has been rewritten to accommodate their profound connection, and they can now use the stairs. The story concludes with the idea that free will is a precious gift, and perhaps the chairman's true plan is for humanity to eventually take control of their own destinies.